welcome back to the Road to Episode 7, my ongoing series where I chart the road to the release of Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens on December 18th, 16th of December 2015. Yeah, let's talk about that. It's been hitting the news this past week that The Force Awakens will be coming out all over the world before the 18th of December, an early release, and the US will get it last, pretty much. Well, China gets it last, they get it in 2016, but I kind of knew this I knew this months ago. I looked it up and saw that the UK was getting the film on the 17th of December. I noticed that Norway was getting it on the 16th of December. I was like, hey, I'm not going to complain. You know, but it's now sort of coming out now and everyone's talking about it. So just for the record, the film is coming out on the 16th of December, 2 days before the US release, in Denmark, France, Italy, Morocco, the Netherlands, Norway, the Philippines, Sweden, and a couple of other countries. And then on the 17th of December, 1 day before the film's US release, the film will be out in Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Belarus, Switzerland, Chile, Czech Republic, Germany, Greece, Hong Kong, Croatia, Israel, Kazakhstan, Lebanon, Mexico, Malaysia, New Zealand, Peru, Portugal, Russia, Singapore, Slovakia, Thailand, Ukraine, and that's about it. So yeah, and then Canada and Bulgaria and the US and stuff, they get it on the 18th. I don't know why that decision has been made. I'm not sure. You know, I thought maybe, oh well, the UK is getting it a day early because it was made in the UK, but no, it's just being released all over the world in different days. I don't know the reasoning behind that. I just think of The Dark Knight Rises when that came out in 2012, and they were so strict that no one in the world could see The Dark Knight Rises before anyone in the US, that the midnight screening in the UK was shown at 5 AM in the morning because we couldn't see it a second before American audiences could. So again, I don't know why. I mean, again, that seems a bit strict, so I guess it's cool that they're not being super strict with it, but still I just thought it's a bit strange, you know, so I don't know what the reasoning is behind that. Moving on, there will be a review later on in this video, and I'll talk all about reviews once I get to it, because there's going to be a big change for this series coming up. But yeah, just to follow up on Episode 8, the road to Episode 8 truly begins this Monday, which would be the 14th of September 2015. I mentioned it last week, they're going back to the island in Skellig Michael, where they filmed scenes for The Force Awakens, and there's been so much speculation. Is it reshoots for Episode 7? Is it shooting for Episode 8 early? Who knows? And I kind of was of the mindset that it would be for Episode 8. And then it came out and said, no, it's not, it's reshoots. And then, oh wait, no, it's been confirmed by Disney that it's for Episode 8. Oh wait, it hasn't. All over the news this past week, it's been the Star Wars news anyway, not the real news, you know, it's not really important stuff, but all over the fan sites and the Star Wars sites, the news, you know, the geek news websites, it's been reported that it is actually official, because there's been a statement that says that director Rian Johnson will be there to, you know, he's booked like the 8 helicopter trips back and forth, and he's been given the permission to shoot at certain times of the day. So Rian Johnson, the director of Episode 8, will be there in 2 days to start filming Star Wars Episode 8, The Force Continues to Awaken. I think that's the official subtitle. It might be a bit of a working subtitle, but I think that's what I heard anyway. So, Episode 8 starts on Monday. Should I start filming the Road to Episode 8 series? I don't know. I don't know if I'll even do that, because this has been such a... Well, it hasn't been that much of an undertaking. It's just I've done so many over the past few years. It's just crazy to look back on. But anyway, review time. Actually, no, one more thing. They're releasing the Art of the Force Awakens book. You know, most big budget films, you know, Hollywood films, blockbuster films, they get the art and making of books, the big kind of hardback books with gorgeous kind of full color pages of all the concept art and the production stuff like that, the production design, you know, digital renderings, things like that, and stuff like that, concept art. And The Force Awakens is getting one, and it's coming out on the 18th of December, so again, good one on Lucasfilm for that, because it means it won't come out early and we'll get people trying to spoil it on the internet. And again, there's probably not going to be big spoilers, but they could reference the story, and if not, there might be looks at Luke or other characters we haven't seen, so I'm glad that's coming out on the release date of the movie in the US, which is kind of the final release date of the film, except for China, who I believe get it in January 2016. So again, it's not coming out on the 16th like it does in Norway, the film, you know, it's coming out on the 18th on the US release date, and so it won't spoil anything for anyone, hopefully. Again, I'm sure there's people who will get spoiled, because no matter what happens, everything that happens in this film is going to be all over the internet the day it comes out, probably in, you know, on the 16th. So it'll be hard to avoid those spoilers. Now I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm visiting home for Christmas. Well, I will be visiting home for Christmas, but I don't know when I'll be going. So I could be there for the release. I might not be. I might be here, and I could see it, you know, a couple of days before most people in the world. But, well, actually, I say most people. It seems like so much of the world is getting this film on the 16th and 17th, but before the people in the US, I guess. But I shouldn't, you know. The same thing happened with Avengers: Age of Ultron. Actually, it came out way earlier here. I saw Avengers: Age of Ultron way before anyone in the US, and it was just really weird how I guess maybe it's a Disney thing. I don't know. Enough speculation about the bloody release date. But yeah, the art of book is coming out, and looks really cool. Like the front cover looks great, so definitely something I'll be looking into. Maybe getting it for Christmas or something like that. And finally, onto a review, and there will be a review every week, hopefully, because now we're on the journey to The Force Awakens. The line of books and comics and tie-ins came out on Force Friday, and now we have a bunch of novels and a comic book series that's starting, a 4-issue comic book series, which I'll be reviewing in this video. But there are 3 standalone adventure books, which I believe are kind of young adult books. There's a Leia adventure, I think I've already talked about this, but a Han Solo and Chewbacca adventure and a Luke Skywalker adventure. I'll be reading and reviewing all of those here on the series every Saturday. I'll pick a book, I'll read it, and I'll talk about it. And from what I understand, there are little tidbits that tie into The Force Awakens, so that's really cool. And then there's Aftermath, which is another big novel, and then there's Lost Stars. So I might check those out too and review them. But today I've read and I'm going to review the first issue of Shattered Empire. This is a new comic book series. It's a 4-issue run, and it follows directly off from the end of the Battle of Endor, the end of Return of the Jedi. In fact, it starts during the Battle of Endor. There's a great 2-page spread of Luke and Vader dueling. I'll just show it on screen now. It's just absolutely gorgeous. What a way to start the comic book. And it mainly follows a character called Shara, a woman who's a rebel fighter in the battle, and she actually almost guns down Luke in the Imperial shuttle as he's leaving the Death Star with Darth Vader, and he kind of comes across the comm system and he's like, no, I'm a friendly, you know, it's Commander Skywalker, don't shoot. And then she covers him and helps him get away. So that's kind of a cool little cameo by Luke there. And then we go to the end of the whole battle. We see kind of Lando fly the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star, and then Shara's there with some other rebel fighters, and they're like, we going in? They're like, no, they got enough, let's keep the battle outside here. So you get to see like different parts of where the movie was. I really like that. The art is great. There's a great scene with Han Solo and Lando on Endor during the celebrations where Lando explains to Han how he lost the dish of the Falcon. He's like, you did what? And then Shara turns up and Lando tries to lay the smooth charm on her, and he's like, well, I can't resist, you know. So it's really cool to see kind of familiar faces kind of acting how you'd expect them to, you know. So it's good that they obviously have writers who know and understand and love these characters and kind of can represent them well in stuff like this. Although it remains to be seen if the spirit of these characters will be retained in the full novels that I'm about to read, the adventure novels. And then we see Shara's boyfriend, maybe fiance, maybe husband, I'm guessing just partner, Kez Dameron. Yes, I probably should have said spoilers, but yeah, Poe Dameron's parents are in the first issue of Shattered Empire, and they were there at the Battle of Endor. I like that. That's cool. They're kind of tying it in. They're showing you the old characters. They're hinting at the new ones. It's what they're doing perfectly at this point, and I like how they're tying these things in. And so it's enriching the experience, I think, you know, for people who want it, and I definitely want it. And so to see Poe Dameron's parents, and you basically see what the night he was conceived during the celebration, you know, you see that they've gotten up to stuff in that Ewok tree, you know. Stuff has gone down, and Poe Dameron has probably been conceived in that tree. And there is a fan theory, which I'm going to talk about now, and again, it could spoil things, but I don't know. So if you want to switch off, it's fine. It's nothing major, but someone has theorized, what if we see at the end of this, you know, 4-issue Shattered Empire story, Shara and Kez Dameron get killed, and then we have, you know, well, I don't know actually. Well, I guess I don't know how long the 4 issues will cover, because the first issue again is the Battle of Endor, and then the day after, they've got more people on the Forest Moon to take care of, and Han Solo's like, look, the Ewoks helped us out, you know, that's cool. We can't just take off and leave with all the other. There's like a side of there's like an Empire camp, I guess, on the far side of the moon that don't even know that they've lost yet, kind of thing. And so he's like, we've got to go take them out, you know, to help the Ewoks out. So you get a continuation of that. I don't know if it'll go on for like a couple of years or something, and we get to see Poe Dameron born, and then she dies or whatever. And the theory is that maybe Han and Leia would raise Poe Dameron as a kind of a foster, you know, as a adopted son. So that would be really interesting. We'll see how that pans out. But I like that. The issue was great. You know, it was not too much, but just enough. You know, little bits. I liked how Luke was just inside the shot. You don't see him. The front cover looks great. Yeah, really great issue, and I'm looking forward to checking out issues 2, 3, and 4. I believe the run will end in October, maybe November, so the 4 issues will be complete by the time we get to The Force Awakens, and there will be a trade paperback release as well, but I'm reading them all digitally for the record. So there we go, that's my review of Shattered Empire #1. Really enjoyed it. Pretty, you know, I give it maybe like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, really strong issue, and makes you want to find out what happens next, and great to see kind of how much you know, attention to detail is put into making characters like Han and Lando seem exactly like they are in the films. And then just the rest of the art looked great, you know, like the ships and stuff and the battles, great stuff. So there we go, that's the video for this week. Next week I'll try and review one of the books, probably one of the adventure books, and talk about the more news as it comes, as it hits. And thank you for watching, and leave your comments about anything to do with Star Wars down below.
I don't know, Hot Second.